So the major cause of death in people with type 2 diabetes is in fact cardiovascular disease, and cardiovascular prevention in the setting of type 2 diabetes is a major priority, and that accounts for the targets for treatment of things such as hypertension and lipids in people with diabetes being so much tighter. An example of that would be the lower blood pressure targets, so systolic targets of 135 and 145 millimetres of mercury, and then the widely accepted lower targets for total and LDL cholesterol, so 4 and 2 targets rather than the current GMS target, for example, of 5 millimoles per litre. So cardiovascular morbidity and mortality is very important. People with diabetes are estimated to have a similar risk of having a cardiovascular event to people without diabetes who have already suffered a myocardial infarct. So it's regarded as secondary prevention of the cardiovascular risk factors rather than the typical primary prevention that you see in the non-diabetic population. In addition to large vessel disease, so cardiovascular disease, myocardial infarction, stroke, peripheral vascular disease, there are also specific, often termed small vessel complications attributed to diabetes, and these are seen in both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. So these would be complications affecting the eyes. Diabetes is said to be the most common cause of blindness in the working population within the UK. They also account for foot problems, and diabetes is the most common cause of non-traumatic amputation within the UK. Small vessel complications also affect the kidney, and diabetes is now the leading cause of end-stage renal failure within the UK, accounting for renal transplantation and kidney dialysis. In the US, for many years now, over 50% of new cases of dialysis patients are accounted for by diabetes. So clearly there's a major morbidity and associated mortality both with the small and the large vessel complications of this condition.